Umentri rangba ka jala Konrad ke sangma hakasan trik jelio, ulaya shimbenta hak jingrakhe World Environment Day ha Mawrah East Khasi Hills, ha bapen skam ya ka jingkut jingmut jong ka sorkar jala, ban penne pensa ya ka maryang ka kam jungok kai ka bane, bat ka roy ka par balam kmat dagi shnong kitau. Kani ka program bala penlong dakatna tourism bat ka Meghalaya Basin Management Agency MBMA, Lapan long halur kamat pedeng, inspired by nature for climate for our future. Bat kawan rak lang hakaju kajaka ya kinong tri sorkar, kinong alam shnong bat kitrai shnong, ban rakhe ya kanikasngi. Kum shibenta jongga program, umintri rangba ulasa mikichay green Meghalaya, syai kinong yok benta hapo ka state payment for ecosystem services PES, ka program bapen syuri kishnong kitau bakin yada, sumar bat penyat hakarukam kabayay ne, yaki klaw ki batam kajala. Umintri rangba ulalit jungok bat pliru ya ka Eco Cottage, padang syudap shna bat ka glass house restaurant hapung Mawrah, kabatmu ban penklan ya ka Eco Tourism hakatan, haba penkaru ya kalat kamay jakpo kabane, na kabentai ki trashnong. Ulay shimbentaru ha kajingya thong ding, da kabapundan kam ya karukam thong ding, miya waki, kabut thong ding balapan stad ya kajingroy ki klaw berben, ki klaw tenrai bat kershan ya kajingpen bhapan ya kamaryang. Haba ajing keren ha kajingalang, umintri rangba Konrad ki sangma ulakot ya karukam trekam kabaklan, kababu hakmat ya upat ba hai ki program ke sorkar, ban penbena bagi kinong mikmat pat ba bat kinong tre sorkar, kidai ban pen la jingmut haka ban pen ke buram ya kinong shong shnong, haka jaka ban pen dan buram ya ladi. Haba keren halor ka jingpli ya ka Eco Cottage bat ka glass house restaurant, ula batai kini ki jingtay kum ka way ni ki jingtay ba compare ki ban kring ya kinong jungok kai ha Meghalaya, bat ong ba kini kin ay kinong wan kai ka jingsham, ka ban sa jingkan mau, Henry, ula banjur baka kam jungok kai ka yait palan, ban ya ka jingdon ki jingtay. Kakam jungok kai kam day e tang halor ki jingtay. Kakam jungok kai kam day e tang halor ki restaurant ne cottage. Kakam jungok kai ka day e halor ka jingsham ula ong. Haba benrap baka jing job jong ka jaka wan kai kan shong e ha ka jing pidang sngob ha. Ka jing sngob tenan bat ka jing ashim benta jong ki try shnong. U MLA ka sokra ba given migwal milim ula ong baka ni ka program. Kapan iya ka jing atrelang bat ban penek pensa ya kamaryang. Kajing shimbenta ka shnong, bat kajing penroy ki kam jungok kai ka bane.
Very happy to be here in Mawrah. And the reason for this is two. The first reason is that it's a beautiful place with lovely people, and that always makes me want to come here. And second and most important is that what the village today here is doing is a true example of what community and government together can do to make a difference in people's lives and to be able to make a difference in governance and also to be able to make a difference to the environment. For anybody who comes here today to see this small reservoir and the spring, it looks quite nice and quite normal. But I'm sure that the officials from the Soil Conservation Department, the local people from this village, they have a very different picture. Because none of this was there a few years back. The springs had dried. The village was struggling for water. The overall vegetation and forestation had completely depleted. And the story of Mawrah was just like many other thousands of villages across our state. But today, because of the efforts of the community and the efforts of the Soil Conservation Department and other related departments, Mawrah is leading by example. What many people thought was never possible a couple of years back is actually happening right in front of us. Millions of cubics of liters of water is being stored here. The different water supply and requirements of the village are being supplied from here. The vegetation has increased. This has become a tourism spot which has led to livelihood. And today I am very happy that we are able to inaugurate these cottages and the glass restaurant, which I can tell you is one of the most unique restaurants and one of the most unique cottages that we have in the entire state. And truly this will be an experience where the tourist will really thrive and really would desire to come and experience. But as I have always mentioned to all of you, that tourism is not just about infrastructure. Tourism is not just about a restaurant or a cottage. Tourism is about an experience. It's about the experience that the tourist goes through. And we may have the best restaurant and the best infrastructure, but if you do not have the best hospitality, it won't make any difference. As I always tell people, that a hospital is just a building. It is the doctors, the nurses, and the staff who provide the care. It is them who converts that building into a hospital because of their care. Similarly, these are just buildings out here, but it is the people of the locality. It is your kindness. It is the smile that you give. It is the respect that you give to the tourist. It is the kindness that you show towards the tourist. That will make this into a truly unique tourist destination. It's not just the buildings. It is how we treat our tourists. And therefore, I would like to take this opportunity to urge the people of the locality and the village and the surrounding areas that we must come together to be able to develop that experience that the tourist would desire. A small smile and wishing the person a very good morning can make all the difference to the tourist. I would like to see that we should ensure that sufficient skill, development and training must be given to our tourist stakeholders in the village and around. Second, I would like to see that our local artists, our local musicians, our youth should ensure that in different forms the tourist should be able to experience the culture of our people and of our state. Our friends who have performed here today, is an example of the talent that we have. I really thank you for your performance and the way you have been able to connect to different communities through the different songs and languages is exactly what we need to do. Tourists like to hear what they are familiar with. And when they hear familiar songs, familiar music, psychologically they feel at home. Though the hospitality also should make them feel at home. But this is how we need to ensure that we develop tourism in Mawrah as well as the entire state. And so I would like to see and urge the tourism department that we should have a small amphitheater where on a weekly basis or twice a week, whatever is practical, on a specific time, which is as per a calendar and a routine, which tourists will know and tour operators will know that on a Friday at 4 o'clock in the evening, there is going to be local artists performing in Mawrah. Cubics of liters of water is being stored here. The different water supply and requirements of the village are being supplied from here. The vegetation has increased. This has become a tourism spot which has led to livelihood. And today I'm very happy that we are able to inaugurate these cottages and the glass restaurant, which I can tell you is one of the most unique restaurants and one of the most unique cottages that we have in the entire state. And truly this will be an experience where the tourist will really thrive and really would desire to come and experience. But as I have always mentioned to all of you, that tourism is not just about infrastructure. Tourism is not just about a restaurant or a cottage. Tourism is about an experience. It's about the experience that the tourist goes through. And we may have the best restaurant and the best infrastructure, but if you do not have the best hospitality, it won't make any difference. As I always tell people, that a hospital is just a building. It is the doctors, the nurses, and the staff who provide the care. It is them who converts that building into a hospital because of their care. And that always makes me want to come here. And second and most important is that what the village today here is doing is a true example of what community and government together can do to make a difference in people's lives and to be able to make a difference in governance and also to be able to make a difference to the environment. For anybody who comes here today to see this small reservoir and the spring, it looks quite nice and quite normal. But I'm sure that the officials from the Soil Conservation Department, the local people from this village, they have a very different picture. Because none of this was there a few years back. The springs had dried. The village was struggling for water. The overall vegetation and forestation had completely depleted. And the story of Mawrah was just like many other thousands of villages across our state. But today, because of the efforts of the community and the efforts of the Soil Conservation Department and other related departments, Mawrah is leading by example. And that is the calendar we should develop for every single MGMP program. For example, in Ward's Lake, sometimes MGMP performs on a Monday, sometimes on a Saturday, sometimes on a Friday, or sometimes when Chief Minister goes. But then nobody knows when they're going to perform till 1 week before. So hence we would like to see that a set calendar is made for these performances. And when I say MGMP, I've always pushed, MGMP is a brand. We need not stick only with music. I would like to use this brand and platform for cultural dance, small skits showcasing our culture and different folklore that we have. Different kind of presentations that we would like to make, maybe through our fashion or our traditional clothing. So please explore these options to be able to showcase our culture, our talent to the tourist in a structured and a systematic manner, which is in a calendar format so that people can connect to. And number 3, which is most important, is that while we develop locations like these, we would like to see how the benefits would reach our local people. For example, we have put 4 or 5 or 6 cottages here. This is not enough. And hence we should promote homestays around the village. Because when other tourists come and they don't find these cottages, the homestays are there for them to stay in. And that way the local villagers will benefit. And the CM Homestay program is there to support you. And hence I would urge the tourism department to identify such locations. I have been told by the tourism department that like this model in Mawrah, we will be selecting about 30 locations which will be built around this model of environment, sustainability, and creating experience for the tourists around that experience of sustainability, environment, and different aspects that the community has done. And develop a livelihood model and a tourism model around that. And I think this is a great example of that. And like this in different parts of the state, I would like to see that that program should happen. And when that happens, as I said, how will the local tourists, the local people, which means the homestays, maybe different restaurants, the restaurants that are running out here, maybe should take local products, should buy vegetables that are grown by the villagers, should take the different poultry and fish that is again grown by the local people out here, and let there be a story around it, saying that the food that you're eating right here has been grown in this particular village by this particular farmer. And for a tourist, that is really the greatest experience that he or she can have. And if possible, the tourist should be maybe even allowed to go to that particular farmer's farm and maybe pick that particular tomato or potato that he would like to eat. And we cooked. And I'm sure that the people would be willing to spend a bit more for experiences like these. These are just few examples. I'm not saying that everything will work everywhere. But somewhere along the line, as a government and department and as a community, we need to see how projects like these can benefit the common citizen. And that, at the end of the day, is going to be the real measure of the success of this project. It is not the inauguration of the reservoir. It is not the inauguration of the glass restaurant. And it's not the inauguration of the cottages. They are important. But how all of this will impact the lives of the people who are living in this area, that is a true measure of success of a project like this. The water that we're providing, that is a measure of success. The springs that we have rejuvenated, which is helping the farmers out here, that is a measure of success. And the money that the people will earn because of projects like these, that is a measure of success. This is just the beginning of a very long journey where we hope that we will keep developing, keep innovating, and keep making the experiences better. The Sardar has mentioned that some more investment is required, some boundary fencing and other developments. We may not be able to do everything in one time, but I can assure our people of the village that along with your local MLA, we will work together to ensure that we are able to build this up. And I'm sure that as the new chairman of the Meghalaya Industrial Development Corporation of MIDC, Bhagavan is the new MIDC chairman, so he will also play a very important role in developing the tourism industry in the area. As you know, tourism is now an industry. So as chairman of MIDC, he will have an important role in ensuring that we are able to develop different aspects of the tourism industry out here. And I'm sure, being his constituency, he will give extra attention and the necessary schemes that are required out here. And I will surely work with him to make sure that we are able to achieve the goal. Regarding the different aspects of the environment, as I was mentioning earlier to everyone, today is only a day for us to remind us about the importance of environment. But World Environment Day is every day of our life. And therefore it should not stop with the one tree that we plant today. But it should continue with every action and every activity we do in our lives. Whether it is we decide to walk one day and not use our vehicles. That is World Environment Day. Whether you decide that you will switch off the lights and switch off the different utilities for that moment and you will not use the lights because you don't need them. That moment is World Environment Day. Or you decide that you will not use the plastic bag that has been given by the shops and you carry your own bag. Use the plastic bag that has been given by the shops and you carry your own bag. And ensure that you stop saying, you stop using plastic and saying no need for plastic. And using your own bag every day. Then that's World Environment Day for you right there. So it is important to remember that today is only a reminder for us But our care and our love and our concern for the environment must be reflected in every action in our lives. It is only then will today's activity and program be meaningful. And as I said, it's not about the big things that we do, but it is about the small, small things that each one of us does every day in our lives that makes the environment better. I once again wish you all the very best on this World Environment Day. I thank our young student who has given a beautiful message to all of us, and I urge all of you to remember it. I urge my team to please capture that message that our young student had given. Make sure we play it in different social media platforms. Take the pictures that we had today, taken with all the young students who we had felicitated on stage. Please prepare and make a small frame of the photograph that was taken, and please present it to them so they can keep it as a memory for the days to come. And hopefully these small events, small memories will continue to inspire us and remind us of this very, very important mission that we all have towards ensuring that we do our bit to protect and to save our environment.
Banagalang kajongi isotu resisha bakani kande kasni kapansa kenmau haka jingya lenti kajongki kumgashnong kabanagalang jong umentri ramba jong ka sarkal jalla layo panwan ban rakhi yakani kaski World Environment Day hakani kashnong kajongki barajo upor kabanagalang kajongi layo I henne shabansang kani program layo pentendet ya ka program mengintung din hakate ka benta ka bakham station ni bakumju iso kemensi ka dei bangilayo ban inaugurate ban play perda yakni ka ye ka blasna la gayet na benta ka restaurant bakumju Eco Cottages banagalan ka janga shabanyak shakmat nazamai ku play kerpang yapi kum kinong shongshnong kiblai tray ringkat lang bat ka sokar MDA Batalong ke buram si kadai nagbenta ke Shnong Mawrah ke bagian Islam berada nilayo Eco Kusnam ke Fourth National Water Sustainability Award Josnam Aljar Opsan berkumju ia ke Scotch Award ke Silver Category ke bagilayo Islam berada kani kalong ke buram nagbenta ke Jongki kumkinong Shnong Berkumju yaki department ki repair ki banagalang jawa sarkar kalayo panitri lang bati kumgasnong. Bangilayo I bakat ni gajing pencet pendiang habai day berkani ke program nason ai kublai kerpang yaki department ki repair panitri lang rengkat lang bagasnong. Bangi so thu ba kano ke program. Lani kino ki scheme jong ka sarkar jalla. Kinlong lenoi lalam don gajing petri lang Nagalia ke jongki kumkinong shongshnong. Bangiyo I bakini ki interventions ki banagaliang joga sarkal jalla lingba ka Soil and Water Conservation Department kebrabe pisa lingba ki scheme ki repair bat kumju lingba ka tanah tourism keba omtam ya ka sankulur hakani ka jaka kenengi ayo I ka jing itanat kebangar itanat kebanganges kem kanangla ban kring susu yaki turis syakani ka thain ka jongi bangimna online agency sha goblei la kurkusi ka dei yakani ka thain ka bai ka jongi hi borokoi bangiyo I ka jingi tanat ka jinglong jong kamayang bangi sotu ba nagaliang jong sarkar jalla berkumju nagaliang jong sarkar India yo I ki scheme ki babor lingba ka tanat jong tourism kapagila bai kisa hagin Islam brother pakinang yai dei nang shakmat nagbenta panpersyang patintiw yakayo kakot ka jongki kumkinong sonsnong jong kanika thaji parokoi hoy nagaliang ka jongi ni sokmen batang hapo kanika Shnong Mawrah ka baha po ko jurisdiction jong ka Mawrah rang tama irada ne kali ka dam ko bai tenat berkumju ia ketika bridge apo rang keliau ngasibwa kan pentie pru ia sandal snong boleh jupen pau na gawe apo sa gawe pan baga bai dei bar ketika approach road ka banlek sa ketika bridge sa po rang keliau Gayo sanction ling bagatana tourism hau upnai march jong yusna momenta ba shen ni sakot tender no panten bahano ia kan gasuro kabale syakate tourist point agbai dei batarang kliau bridge tenagalian ga jong ahi ngasum kin tujer ye phi kum jinong song snong habangi rakhi ya ka world environment day to kanong ga jingken tu nagabenta ka jonga ba ga jongki Banginum kenmau World Environment Day tang haka santarik jong June. Radio I baka World Environment Day kanong silenter kapani ini haka mensim ka jongi. Kabangin kenmau baka di ke tingkit kle ka jongi hi simet. Kabangin penha penne pensa ye kani amariang ka jong. Perkumong hi juong. Tu sim baka ni saudong sokun, tu sim baka ni amariang kabadan hangi. Tu sim baka lalong kabang ya sim keliang na kapateng kabanuan. Dito nai ai pakalong kanong kenti jongi hangtang insanang banpenne pensa ya kani kamay mariam ke jongi. Ya di alor tak benta na kaliang ke jonga santi tujur ya pi way bopilon ya ke kli. Sir, before I conclude my speech, I would once again like to thank the Honorable Chief Minister and entire government machinery for the vision and the support that you've given to the people of Mawrah in terms of these various infrastructure projects. And I'm very, very confident that this will further uplift the economic livelihood not only of the people of Mawrah and also of its adjoining areas. So these few words, kublay sibun, kublay na rin kapati iway, naikat ku, agipenta pa per jong 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 Kepamon IP, maybe way, Thank you.